that is
how do
really
you-
something
The
we all have to
destruction
consider.
of the
How would
nuclear
we know?
family has done more damage to children than anything else. And when you start looking, especially at what the prawn industry has done within relationships, the way the effects that have had on it, it actually leads to sexual dysfunction within people. Just from watching it and consuming.
I don't disagree. That's why I personally position myself as like a Trojan horse inside.
The real
I capture the audience that is somewhat kind of in this middle ground of like, they're single, they're confused, they're maybe lonely, they're not sure what this is all supposed to be like. And I am just an example of a real woman.
How many of them are married? How many of
Not to
them are
quote
married?
Emmett, is that not a bit of cope though, in a way? Because if you're saying the corn industry is bad, but you're participating in it as a Trojan horse,
and that's the thing. She said,
I think that the federal government of the United States is bad, and I somewhat participate in it. It's a transitional type of process.
You have maintained that you enjoy this, that this is like therapy for you. How the fuck are you like being a Trojan horse? If this is your therapy.
I personally found a path of expressing myself as an exhibitionist. I understand myself.
So you enjoy it. You're not a Trojan horse trying to subvert it.
That was a particular. I didn't show that. That was not on my OnlyFans. That scene was never on my OnlyFans.
I'm talking about right now. You have said, you have maintained on everything I've ever seen. You do this because you enjoy it. You enjoy your sexual freedom. You embrace who you are as a sexual creature. But now you're sitting here trying to say that yes, porn is bad, and you are in it as a Trojan horse trying to subvert. You really like to over talk when you don't like what somebody's saying. Let me finish, please. You said that you're acting like a Trojan horse trying to subvert the situation. So which one is it, please? That's all I'm asking, so I can understand what your true intention is with this. Please.
Okay, so in my season of not being in any sort of monogamous relationship structure, I have found the platform of OnlyFans to be a good fit for me to express the exhibitionist side of myself while also being able to monetize my body, my sexuality, my journey in becoming who I am ultimately as an adult sovereign woman. And I have found that piece of it to somewhat be the restitution that I have found personally for all the years of abuse that I took, not necessarily consensually. And for me, it was very freeing. And also, I have had the situation where I had so many of my relationships, almost all of my relationships were based on this caricature I was playing of this good girl, this good Christian girl. And for me, when I decided to open up about the fact that I was a mess and that I needed to go through a healing process and that I had different thoughts and ideas about things that didn't fit neatly into this little box based on my own lived experience, when I started coming out about that, I lost so many of my relationships. And so what I learned is, in order for me to truly heal all of my attachment traumas and all of this and get into aligned, healthy relationships, I have to learn, first of all, who I actually am. And then I have to own the fullness of that self before another. I have to be, in other words, comfortable.
So
with
where
my
does the
full
Trojan horse
naked
idea,
existence.
where does the Trojan horse subversing a bad thing come into play?
So because our culture and society is so addicted to pornography and all these manners of perversions that I do not believe inherently that we will ever make the jump from the shit show we're in of addiction all the way just to puritanical living where everything is perfect and this doesn't exist. I think there has to be a bridge to sort of wean everybody off like a methadone clinic to wean the nervous system off of this toxic
So what's your harm reduction then, Des? Like what are you saying?
Yeah.
What's the weaning off? What's your methadone that you're giving people on your OnlyFans?
So that is coming back to, I don't go with this delusional model where I'm sexting with the guys or letting them have these fake relationships with me. It is truly just an exchange of voyeurism and exhibitionism, which is a consensual kink between two different types of individuals. Me as an exhibitionist and my fan base as voyeurs.
So
I don't have sex with them.
Desiree,
I don't have like these make-believe relationships.
That's not true though. That's not, I mean, we in our interview this came up. This is like a year ago, but we talked about this, and you started off by saying you don't role play, and that was your distinction. But then later on, you said that sometimes you do role play. So
no, I don't role play with fans. I will do role plays with my own partners and different experiences and dynamics, but I don't role play with fans. In other words, I'm not their fake girlfriend.
You've never done that.
I have worked for agencies before, and then they wanted me to go that route and have chatters and this whole thing, and I did not feel okay with that. So I had to always
Trojan horse subversion of that. Okay. I'm just checking because I don't. You said two different things. Needed to clarify. That was all I.
Wait. Sorry, I distracted myself in a way. What is the methadone
of
the
Let's
porn
roll.
stuff? What's
the methadone? The methadone is the honesty, is the honest exchange. It's similar to like
off of pornography stuff.
You think that people who consume corn don't know what the fuck they're looking at and what it's doing to them? We have studies all over the place. Oh my Lord, Jesus help me.
All right.
There are going to be
there's no dishonesty in what's happening.
And there are going to be exhibitionists.
There's no dishonesty in what's happening
part of the multi-dimensional nature of the collective, right? There's always going to be these different expressions.